What's up YouTube? Guys, I'm back with my P08 Luger and I finally got a chance to test out the new MecGar magazine I got for it. Now if you've seen my original review on this firearm, you'll know that I was having an issue with the toggle staying back, and this magazine did not hold it back. I was really hoping that with the added pressure of a brand new spring and follower, it was going to hold back the toggle. Sadly, it turned out that wasn't the issue. I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong, but I don't want to replace it because this is an all matching numbers gun and I don't want to touch it. But on the good note, this magazine works pretty well. Now, one thing I noticed right away is how much stronger that follower really is than the original one. Loading ammunition in this was difficult, and I had to use a shell casing to pull down on this follower. Now I had to do the exact same thing with this one. I kind of wish I had the loading tool that would come with Lugers. I thought about buying one, but they're kind of expensive for just a piece of metal, so I'll keep to my shell casings. But the first thing I noticed was how hard it was to pull down. Now I do think it is a little bit easier because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like the angles hurt as much as the original magazine. This seems a little bit more comfortable. And as soon as I put it in the firearm and chambered the first round, I noticed a big difference. With the original magazine, I noticed the first round would rub against the front lip of the magazine. I noticed every time it would make contact, it have kind of a rough feeling chamber. This one, on the other hand, was very smooth, and every shot that I shot through this thing was very reliable. Now, we did have one issue where I held it one-handed, but I do feel like I was limp wristing the firearm at that time. So if I had to say something negative about this magazine, would be the plastic components. Now, I understand it's not that big of a deal, but I don't know, it just takes away from the fun. There's something about holding a metal magazine and putting it into a 1938 Luger. When I put this one in, it just doesn't feel right. It feels too new, too modern. That is such a mild complaint, but yes, the follower and the base plate are both plastic. Now, I suppose you could probably buy a different base plate that was made out of metal. I have noticed that there are some for the wood ones, if you so wish. But that is my complaint. I mean, if you got a Luger like this, and let's say it didn't come with a magazine, and you had to buy one of these, it would be kind of disappointing to see it in plastic. That's just me personally. The function is very flawless. Made in Italy, and I've never had a problem with MecGar magazines. I've always thought they were pretty decent magazines, but I've only been able to test them in a 1911 and a Burst of Thunder. I haven't tested them in a lot of firearms, but at very least for the Luger, the MecGar magazine works. Now, where I could see a magazine like this coming in handy is if you wanted to shoot your Luger a lot and didn't want to wear out the springs on original magazines. Plus, original magazines aren't cheap. This one was about 26 bucks for one magazine, so you could put all the wear and tear on this magazine and leave your originals away. But how often are you going to shoot this thing? Okay, I want to shoot it all the time, and I shot 800 rounds through it, so I can understand wanting to shoot the crap out of it. I really like that old firearms like this are not being forgotten and are still being taken care of. There's still reproduction parts you can get to keep these things running. And I really like that. Nobody's forgotten about these old gems. And that's one thing I really like about it. I'm a little disappointed that this thing did not hold back the toggle on the Luger. Actually, when I was out at the range, the only time it held it back was when I put the original magazine back into it. So I am a little bit disappointed about that, but I'm pretty sure I know what's wrong and what to replace. So all in all, guys, I thought I'd make a really quick video talking about it. I really do like this magazine. One thing I don't understand is, since they're able to make reproduction 8-round magazines, why they don't have any reproductions of the snail drum magazines. I've always really liked them, and I always thought it'd be kind of cool to shoot through my Luger. But of course, nobody makes reproductions, and the originals are extremely expensive, and you probably don't want to shoot a lot of rounds through them. So I just don't understand why nobody makes them. Maybe because people don't want to shoot more than 8 rounds at a time through their Luger that's sometimes over 100 years old. But, you know, I guess I'm a little different.
Oh, you have a problem. Never mind.
All right, and now the original mag.
Getting hit with shell casings.
Rapid fire this to see how it performs. All right, so the last round was kind of a pain in the butt to load into this magazine, but we're gonna see how it works. Ooh, that was hard to get in there. All right. Nope, did not hold it back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really love this Luger, and I wish I could do a lot more with it, but I have to kind of hold back and just shoot it a lot less. I shot 800 rounds through it, and it's an all matching numbers gun. I don't want to break parts on it, so I have to have some self-control and not shoot this thing too much. Maybe in the future I might do a video where I'm talking just about the Luger and the history behind it and why I think it's such an incredible firearm instead of having a review like I did my last video, which if you haven't seen that, there'll be a link to it in the description below. But I really do love this firearm. It is amazing, and it's turning into my review again. If you'd like to see the review, there'll be something down in the description below for it, but I really do love this firearm, and I'm happy with this magazine. It seems to work just fine. And I don't mind dropping this thing all over the place. So that's another positive, is if you wanted to, do a quick mag change on this thing for some reason, and you didn't want to drop an original magazine onto the ground, which is understandable, these things are around. The only thing I'm kind of wondering about is the longevity of this magazine. I mean, I just wonder how long it's going to last with a pen going through it and it's being constantly held under pressure on a plastic bottom piece. I just wonder. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see in future videos. I'm sorry if my nose it's a little clogged up. I just got over being sick, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please stay tuned. I am going to be making a lot of improvements, and I'm always interested in suggestions for improvements for this channel. I really want to make this the best on YouTube. Hello, I'm a man round. I make your fun go away. Yay!
You jackass.